What I love is my journey of becoming successful and having conversations with them and then taking what wisdom they shared with me and implementing it in my own life, right?
Yes.
And you are somebody that's done that, bro. I've saw you go from cutting at people's houses to cutting out of another shop to launching your own business. Now you have your own barbershop in one of the most poppin' places in Pacific Beach. Yeah.
He was like, I was expecting it to happen fast, but organic was what is my whole goal. Like, I don't want to just, because at the end of the day, we establish these relationships in the barbershop. I don't want them to be fake. I don't want them to be just surface level.
I've seen a man that was close to me die because he lost his purpose to live. The person I have in the studio today, I'm really stoked about because I was looking back in my Instagram DMs. And on January 12th, 2022, so in 7 days, 2 years ago, I get a DM that says, "Hey, brother, I launched my podcast where I'm interviewing influential people in San Diego while we're chopping it up. I'm not sure if it's for you, but I love to do an interview while cutting your hair. My social media team will be there to make the content. When you have time, check the link in my bio to see the previous episodes. Thank you for your time." And it was on that day, almost 2 years ago that I met you, Boobi. And what's crazy is I was up and coming and I was creating content, building my businesses and developing myself as a quote unquote influencer and a digital marketer. And I'm always, when I see people do things different and unorthodox, that draws me to them. And you DM'd me as a barber and said, "Hey man, I want to come cut your hair for free. I want to bring in a social media team, cameras. I want to publish a podcast episode and give you social media content." So the answer was yes, obviously, right? Yeah. And so he came into my house that I was living with a Navy SEAL at the time, Yost Jansen.
I remember.
And you cut, and that right there created a relationship. And you fast forward 2 years, we've become really good friends. Mm-hmm. You've been my barber ever since. I've saw you go from cutting at people's houses to cutting out of another shop to launching your own business. Now you have your own barbershop in one of the most poppin' places in Pacific Beach. Welcome to the show, Boobi.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me. That was a good introduction, bro.
Well, it's an honor to have you on here, man, because looking this good ain't easy, guys. And you got to have a good barber behind you.
We need to show pictures of him 2 years ago before I cut his hair.
I cringe at it. This look Boobi created. Boobi's like, we should do this with your hair. What was my theme for last year? Do you remember?
Sophisticated savages.
Yeah. I was like, "Boobi, what is my theme? What am I going to look like in 2023? He's like, sophisticated savage. Yeah. We grew the beard out. Yeah. We let the hair go a little bit longer.
We fixed the symmetry in his hair.
Yeah, the line on my head. He was like, no, that's all off. We got to fix that. And it was like the awkward phase I had to go through of looking weird and growing my beard out and moving my line. It was hard.
It was a while. But we got to now.
Yeah.
So this got him, a fiance. So
It got me a fiance. So what I'm trying to say is, if you want to get married, you should go get your hair cut from
24
Boobi.
is your year, man. 20 is your year, man.
Yeah. Well, dude, no, it's really cool to have you on the show, and I've been wanting to have you on for a while, Boobi. I admire you a lot. I respect you a lot. Not only because you're my barber and you do a great job cutting hair, but as a man. As a soon to be husband, as a father, as a business owner, you're a great man. I'm very careful who I let speak into my life. And even I go see you every week. I get my hair cut every week. We spend about an hour and a half together. That hour and a half, I'm very selective in who that individual is going to be, because we're having conversation. You have an input in my life. I have an input in your life.
Sure.
And I can say confidently now, several years later, that I've been made a better man because of you. So thank you.
It's vice versa, for sure. You're almost like a mentor for me without being a mentor.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being there. You're supporting my craft. You're supporting the business, but also supporting me outside of the shop, So it's a great thing, because I think the one thing that, and this is just going back to the barber stuff, is that bond that you build with these people in the shop, it goes past that. I think that transcends the shop and transcends the cutting. So these last few years, we got close, and I've grown a lot knowing you.
Yeah.
And in knowing you, it helped me grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, that's powerful, man. And we talk about that all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Every time I leave your shop, I just dude, that was a high level conversation. And what I love is, my journey of becoming successful was a lot of getting in proximity to that which I desired most, people that were living their life, developing businesses and great husbands and fathers that kind of had the fruit I wanted, and having conversations with them and then taking what wisdom they shared with me and implementing it in my own life. Right.
Yes.
And you are somebody that's done that, bro. Like and what's really cool is like, dude, you came to my event, Evolve Your Brand or Go Extinct. You invested into my program. He's got the bracelet on right now.
I wear this every day, man. I look at it every day.
And he's actually got, if people have like asked about this bracelet, I've shared on some shows, he has the same one. Do you have the Evolve Your Brand or Go Extinct, or There Will Never Be Another You?
There'll never be another you.
Yeah. So this is the new one. Yeah. So
I had the old one too.
But we got rid of that one. Yeah. We trashed that brand. We moved on. There will never be another you. And what I love, man, and what I'm saying is you came to that, you invested, you were present, you went through the program. When I sit in the chair and I drop game on you about business, I think like 90%, 95% of barbers would just have the conversation because it's your job, right? I'm your client, and then whatever, but not you. Like you're implementing, you're doing the things, you're talking about it. You're like, yo, man, I'm working on this. Now I'm getting my SEO going. We're getting our social going. We got our marketing going. We're expanding. Hey, we want to get products. We want to grow the brand. We're doing events. And I have such a respect for that because I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations in the past with people and they do nothing with it. And over time, you start to not waste your breath on those people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, like you don't want to talk about any of that.
You ask for advice, but when they give you the advice that you need to hear or you want to hear, you don't want to take it. And like just like you said, like, yo, I see you building and growing. I'm like, he's telling me this for a reason because he's doing it.
And you get to hear it as I'm doing it, right? Like I'm in there talking about what I'm doing, the moves I'm making.
And then like, and even further than that is that you're sharing that knowledge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gatekeepers in every industry. Yeah. And
I hate that, man. I'm on a mission. That's why we do this podcast. So for everyone listening to this podcast, just so you know, I finance this. I pay for this. I'm paying for this space. I'm paying to have this published, recorded. I'm leveraging my friends and their time to come in here. And I don't want nothing from you besides you to grab a nugget from this, go apply it into your life and let it make an impact. If anything, shoot me a DM on Instagram and be like, hey, man, thank you for that podcast episode. Because of it, I went and did this. Because of it, I'm more encouraged today. Because of it, I'm more motivated today. And that's why we do what we do. So, all right, so let's get into it. That was a long-winded start in. I got a lot I want to talk about with Boobi.
All right.
We're going to get to know Boobi today, guys.
Let's go.
We're going to talk about some things that we talked about before the show, even mental health and things going on. We're going to talk about business. He's just over a year with a brick and mortar business, his barbershop. We're going to talk about that. But before I get into any of that, I love to know the heart of the individual I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. And one of the best ways I know the heart of somebody is by asking them this question. What do you value most in your life?
What do I value most? Freedom. Or trying to attain freedom. It doesn't have to be monetary or whatever, but like your time, the way you spend it. Like when you're going like, yo, we're businessmen, we're family men, we're fiancés, we're going to be husbands, we're fathers. Like those things, I feel like, and it's cliche and it's corny, but like the things that money can't buy.
Yeah.
Right? No matter how much money we make, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter to an extent, but that freedom to do whatever, or the freedom to spend time with your fiance, the freedom to do a podcast, the freedom to drive up the coast, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm living for, freedom. And to give that freedom to my fiance, my future wife, to give that freedom to my kids. That stuff is like, I think for me, I value that the most. Like that's the top of the list. I don't think but everything's, everyone has different priorities, but
yeah. That's good, man.
For me, freedom, yeah.
Well, let's stay on that for a second. If you could create the freedom, the maximum freedom for you and your family, what does that truly look like? Like, what is it like? Let's say 5 years from now, bro, you obtained this.
Okay.
The freedom you envision, you dream about, the reason you get out of bed every day, the reason you work so hard, you build your business. You are at a place 5 years from today, and you are reflecting and going, I have created the freedom I set out to create for my family. What does that look like, man?
It's just like not having any worries, right? Financial freedom would be a part of that because, you don't have to be in a place or in an office or on a computer or your phone doing work, but that takes care of itself. But like, you know, it would be dope that you just wake up, you're next to your fiance, next to your wife, you know, you could take your kids to school, you could pick them up, you know, you don't have to be like, oh, I got 2 weeks of vacation, I can't go here.
Yeah,
you got time, let's go. I guess the best answer would be, yo, just creating memories.
Yeah. Okay. So the freedom to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, how you want.
Yeah.
Without being constrained by finances, time, obligations, responsibilities to other people.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the thing is, I don't think you'll ever not have worries in your life, because there are worries existential and on a macro level outside of one's control. We can't control who's president. We can't control wars. We can't control even diseases or things that happen to our family, or some accidental things, or you know, forces of nature, right? Hurricanes, tornadoes. So there are some things that can create chaos in our life and worry that are outside of our control. But on a micro level, as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a business owner, there are also things in chaos you can control.
Yes.
And that, so is that what I'm kind of hearing, is if you could control this micro level of your life and do what you want, when you want, with who you want, how you want, not constrained by being anywhere or obligated to this, that's the freedom.
Yeah, because like you said, you can't control it. And those bigger or macro things, it doesn't, I want to say it doesn't affect you directly, but it affects you indirectly, right? So, I mean, if you're controlling whatever you have in your own little environment, in your space, in your world, I think those things, it's hard to penetrate in. That makes sense. You know, like, yeah, there's a war going on. It affects a lot of people, but like right now, look, we're okay.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, you know, but it sucks that's happening, but on a macro level, like we're okay.
Yeah.
You know, like we were talking about it like the other day, like the inflation and stuff, it happens. But
yeah, we live in the most expensive city in America right now, one of the most expensive countries in the world. And we were talking about that, but at the same time, life's still good.
Yeah. Because, you know, instead of complaining about it or worrying about it, what are we doing? We're finding solutions to stay here or to live the life that we want.
Yeah.
Right? So as long as we're in a forward motion, I think we should be closer to the goal and whatever that goal is, you know?
Yeah, that's good. And let me ask you this, even if you could never fully obtain the absolute freedom that you long for, would you continue to pursue it the rest of your life?
Yeah. Because I think, this is corny too, they always say it's not the end goal, it's the journey, right?
Right.
And the journey is like, you're finding new ways to gain this freedom, to access this freedom. But now you're showing your fiance, your wife, you're showing your brothers, your sisters, you're showing your cousins, you're showing family, you're showing your kids how to get that freedom. Mm-hmm. We might not get it this lifetime, but you know, we're giving them the opportunity, and we're giving them knowledge and wisdom that, like, if you want the same, this is part of the path you could take.
Yeah.
You know, we're just like teaching, like, or handing down knowledge, right?
I think we set targets like that, big ones that almost seem unobtainable, because they are the very target that keeps us moving forward to that which we desire most. It's not about a destination, like you said. It's can I stay motivated and disciplined enough to move in the direction of that which I desire most for the rest of my life? Because the moment you stop doing that, that's where chaos comes in. Yeah. That's where mission and conquest dissipate. Purpose and meaning fade away. And when you take away a man's purpose, from what I've physically have seen that. I've seen a man that was close to me die because he lost his purpose to live. He was older and he had purpose, and the purpose was taken away, and he didn't find a new target, a new conquest, a new mission, a new purpose, and he died in several months. And it was interesting, the physiological effects that happen on us when we lose a purpose. Yeah. When you're young, some people are just kind of floating with the water, going with the flow without ever true conquest or mission or something that brings meaning and purpose in their life. And in the youth, you find it in these small little things that are really facades. But as you get older, you become a lot more lonely, a lot more depressed. You have health issues creep in. And without that drive forward, dude, you'll wither away and die.
Yeah. I guess for men, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say for women too, like women have an innate biological, I believe, desire to mother and to nurture, right? So when a woman has children, much of her purpose, not to say, ladies, that this is saying you're just supposed to be a stay-at-home mom, you're not allowed to have passions, dreams, desires, businesses. I'm not saying that. But on a biological level, as a woman, you want to be a mother, you want to, it's in your wiring. So I think women get a lot of that from the children, but the man is the one that's supposed to go out, hunt, kill, provide, take territory, bring it back to the family, build the kingdom. And if the man doesn't have that fight going on, that's when addiction, alcoholism, drugs, pornography, bad habits, that's where that will consume a man, because the enemy will find a way into his life.
No, exactly. Like, it's almost like, yo, you got to keep busy.
Gotta.
If you're not keeping busy, like you said, there's other
and not just busy, productive with the right things, right? Because you could have a full day, doesn't mean you're productive.
Oh no, not at all. You're just sitting around.
Yeah. All right. So we rabbit holed on that. Thank you for going there with me. Good stuff, guys. Hope you got some nuggets from that. I love Boobi. We could talk all day. You can see how comfortable I am with him because I see him every week. Let's get into business is going to come after this.
Okay.
But I want to talk about what you shared with me before the episode. I ask every guest, hey man, is there anything that's going on in your life right now that you feel called to speak on? And Boobi, what did you share with me when I asked you that? And you share how much of this you're comfortable sharing.
Yo, it's mental health, man. And I'm not gonna lie, like for a long time, like, you know, it was a stigma, a story like that, like, oh, you know, just whatever, don't think that, don't do that. No, mental health is crazy. Mental health awareness is real, you know? So like I never had it close to me happen. And when that happened, I'm like, I was shook because like I've heard it before. I've seen it, seen the news, you know, internet, whatever. But like to have it close to you and let it happen, like I was crying, dude.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy because it's like one of my friends, like I'm like, yo, what the, like how, why? And like, it was just a whirlwind of like emotions, whirlwind of like, what do I do? How do I help? And then if stuff went south, I would have felt like I didn't do enough.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy way to ring in the new year. But like mental health, man, like check up on your people, man. Because even if they look fine, even if they're, you know, going about their day, there's signs, but I just don't know what, you know, I was just so oblivious to that.
Yeah. You don't ever know what someone's truly going through.
Yeah.
So from this circumstance, having someone close to you that you love, that you care about, and finding out they're really struggling in this area, what new awareness has that drawn into you right now? And guys, the reason I ask this is what I found in life as we go through as human beings. Boobi recently had an experience in the last week of an awareness of this in his own life. So he actually is in a great place to share awareness and what he's learning through this experience with you and I to impart a piece of wisdom into us. And that's why I do this with my guest. And I want to share that as I'm doing it. So Boobi, like, what are you learning from this?
I'm learning that, everyone has battles, like in front of the camera, behind closed doors. Like it's whether it's good or bad. You don't know if good things are happening at someone's house. You don't know if bad things are happening, but like, take the time to, be more present, be more mindful, be more aware.
Yeah.
Because legit, there's signs, right? But, we're about our day. We're doing what we need to do.
Right.
So we might miss those signs. We might miss those like flags. And I'm like, man, like it just put me in a whole different perspective of how to view things and how to go about things, right? Like, I was just so carefree. Now I'm like, dang, I can't, I gotta, my people around me, I gotta make sure they're all okay too. Right?
And there's gotta be a balance there, right? Because it's not your job.
It's not. Yes.
To be a hero and save everybody.
Okay, yeah.
It's not. And I think I feel called to share that with you right now. You naturally, maybe you're more together, you naturally want to take that on them the same way.
Yeah.
However, you cannot carry that burden to think you can save everyone. You're not going to see everything. But what you can do is create a space within your environment of people close to you and say, hey, I just want to let you know, man, if you're ever going through it, like I got your back. If you ever need to talk, I'm here to talk. If you ever need to call me and you're about to do something stupid, call me anytime, anywhere. If I don't answer, shoot me a text. I'll call you back. I would encourage you, that's all we can do.
Yeah.
You know, and if we notice something in the behavior of somebody change, like we can tell something's off, then I think if there's a close enough relationship, you can tell the friend what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, and be like, hey, Boobi, I'll use an example. Hey, man, you know I love and care about you, bro. I've noticed lately, dude, you're just not acting like yourself, man. Hey, dude, let's go take a walk, dude. Let's chat, man. Tell me what's going on, bro. I'm going to give you safe space. I've been where you're at. Just tell me what's going on and invite you into that. Now you might tell me, dude, I'm good. I'm fine. Leave me alone, bro. Right. And then I'll be like, all right, man, I completely respect it, but I just want to let you know that if you need a friend, I'm here for you. Or you might be like, hey, you know what? Actually, man, I have been going through a tough time. And then we might go on that walk and you might tell me some crazy stuff. And I'm going to listen and I'm going to be there for you. But then I'm going to look at you and be like, bro, this isn't okay. This needs to change. I'll support you in this. What are we going to do to change this? And I'll walk with you. I had this happen about 5 months ago. I got a phone call at a really weird time from somebody. And we're like friends, but not like really good friends. Okay. But I've been a good influence. Okay. And I've prayed for this person. We go to church and this and that. And called me and he really opened up that like, man, I made a big mistake and I don't know who to call. And I just feel like I need to talk to you. Met up with him in PB actually. We walked and we talked and he shared some stuff with me. And that was such an opportunity to speak into his life. The only reason it happened though is because a long time ago, like months before, I said, if you ever need anything, you can call me. So I created that. So when he was in that space of, I need to call someone going through mental health issues, he remembered me. And then I got a text. This is kind of crazy alignment. I got a text from him yesterday. And I won't say who it is, but I'll read what he sent me. And this is real stuff, guys. This is powerful. He says, hey, love you, dude. You've been on my heart. You've played such an influence in my life. Thank you.
That's awesome, man.
Just a random text out of the blue from him. So that's what at least I know from my experience that we can do for friends. And I think it's a good reminder, bro, we're so selfish in today's world. You know, the crazy thing, getting married to Esther made me realize how selfish I am. It's drawn such a highlight of how consumed I've been with Cody and my stuff. Because when you love a person, you have a sacrificial love. It's laying your life down. Now I can't be all about Cody. It's about her and me. Yeah. Well, then it created this awareness of how selfish I am even among my other relationships. And it made me pause and reflect and say, I can't be there for everybody, but how can those in close proximity still be a good friend? Even with a friend like you, it's like, how can I make the most of the time I have with you when I come see you to build my friendship with you? To build my bond with you, to build relational equity with you. So those were some thoughts. Anything come up for you?
I feel like, no, you're right. And I think that's a hard part though. Like us being who we are, right? Like you want to help everybody. You just want to. Because you think, I know we think, but in our mind, like we are capable, we think we're capable of doing that. But if we try to do that, like that messes up, like you said, the relationship with your fiance and wife. It could deteriorate other things. So what you're saying about opening up that safe space, that's very important. And like I think at the end of the day, like everyone needs a support system. Everyone needs a support system, whether it's a big support system, with friends, family, whoever. So I think we need to create that environment for us. For your
and you can't have an expectation, right? Because if you have this expectation on yourself that I'm going to save everyone, what happens if that homie that you have that expectation on yourself commits suicide, just saying, next week, and now you blame yourself? But you really shouldn't blame yourself. And you take that upon yourself, but it wasn't your responsibility to save them. That's important, man.
That's tough, man.
I'll tell you a story. This just sparked it for me. I grew up in Michigan at 16 years old. I moved to North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I lived there from 16 to 22. I moved out on my own. I lived on the streets. I was a hustler. I was selling drugs, doing all that. We've talked about this. We have similar backgrounds. And I got my life together, though. And before I moved out of there, I had this friend. He was one of the first people when I moved to that high school to be my friend. And he made an impact on my life. And I have a lot of love for him still to this day. But we went separate paths. Mm-hmm. I was in that party world, drugs, alcohol, all the stuff. And I got my life on track. And a lot of my friends stayed in that world. And he was one of those friends. And I was preparing to move out of state back to Michigan. And this friend had reached out to me for about 3 months in a row, wanting to get together and wanting to hang out. And the night before what I'm about to share happened, he texted me and said, hey man, I would love to grab a lunch with you tomorrow. It's been months since we got to catch up. I'm really working hard to make some changes in my life. Can you connect tomorrow? And I texted him back and I said, hey man, I'm sorry. I'm actually moving tomorrow. I'm leaving town, dude. We'll catch up next time I come visit Myrtle Beach. So I'm driving back to Michigan and I get a text message from a mutual friend that says, Hunter got in a car accident and he's dead.
Wow.
And dude, it rocked me. I had to pull over on the side of the road and I just started crying, man, because here's this friend that was my first friend. And just because he was partying, I avoided him and I had so much guilt and he died, dude. He hit a tree, wrapped his truck around it, dead instantaneously. And I never took the time to connect with him. And that ate me away, dude, for months, bro. So much so that it drove me back into alcoholism, into some drugs, into some depression, into some bad habits. I spiraled a little bit because I blamed me, even though I had nothing to do with that. I didn't influence him to drink the alcohol. I didn't, all those things. All I did was I failed to connect with him. And I can't go back and change that. But I just share that, man, because scenarios like that happen. And that's like what I learned from that now, more mature, farther down the road, is it wasn't my job to save them, to save him, but just do my best to be a good friend and to make myself available when I can to those people I love and care about that want to connect with me and not blame myself when something bad does happen. So that just populated for me, man, especially with what you're going through.
No, it sucks, man, because like you said, we're not responsible for these people, but I don't know, man. It's just in our innate as to protect, right? These are your people,
yeah,
right? You want to keep them close. You want to give them the best that you can, right? And circumstances is what it is. What it is. So I mean, to your point, yo, I feel like we just gotta. Damn, man, that story is crazy, Cody.
Yeah,
and I can understand why you went.
That class, we were 2012 out of North Myrtle Beach High School, dude. I think we've got over 10, 15 classmates dead now, bro. I'm only 29 years old.
That's great.
Overdoses, car crashes, somebody got murdered. I mean, I'm a young dude, from that class, and it's kind of crazy now because I get messages on Facebook. I was only in high school there for a year and a half, but I lived there for 6 years. So I came in late, a lot of these guys, and I created friendships and we hung out after that. But man, it's crazy. It reminds me every day, how precious life is. I'm really just actually grateful to have made it out of that environment because Myrtle Beach was a party town. I love that place. I love a lot of people there, but I knew if I stayed there, I'd probably end up the same.
But see, I guess that was the gift. I got to get out of here. And you actually left. Because some people are going to say it all the time. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here one day. Well, why don't you get out of here now? Right?
Yeah. All the time. Michigan, man, where I grew up in Michigan, I hear that all the time. I still go back there. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, time's ticking, bro. we're going in our 30s, bro. You said that 20 years ago.
And nothing against the people who want to stay.
Yeah.
Right? That's their choice. That's their path. But
now, where'd you grow up?
Jersey City, New Jersey, man. When I grew up there, it was, I don't want to say a cesspool, but it was definitely close to it. It's not what it is now. In the early 90s, early 2000s, it was not even close. So growing up and being from an immigrant family, I was first generation here. It was difficult because we weren't rich, we weren't poor, but we were somewhere below. So when I grew up, I understand what you're saying. I was surrounded by all this, drugs, homelessness. Like, yo, it was crazy because we couldn't go to one part of Jersey City because it was just so bad. But, you know, it was crazy. It's funny. So growing up in Jersey City, I thought I was going to live and die there. I thought I was going to die when I was 21. I thought I wasn't going to make it. But, you know, that sparked a lot of things in my head. Like, as I was getting to that age.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, yo, I can't. You know, it's crazy because you see these people that are older than you and you looked up to them there. Like the hood rock stars, right?
Right, yeah.
And you're like, yo, I want to be like that guy. But do you really want to be like that guy?
Right.
And then you look at them as you get older, like, dang, this is crazy. I used to call Jersey City a trap because that's what it did. It was, New York City is right there, and it sucked you in. Like, you stay here because New York City is so close. And I was like, man, I can't because I seen what it did to people, but I also seen how it uplifted people too. So I wanted to get to that side. But you know, long story short, I had a long journey of getting out of Jersey City, man.
Take us through it. Let's kind of go Cliff Notes version of you growing up in Jersey City, what you just shared with us, to now being a business owner in San Diego, California, the most expensive city to own a business in America.
All right. So, you know, in that area, you're going to high school. You're just going to high school, man. You're not, like, I just did get my diploma and get out of here and probably do something in the street. You know, that was my mindset. I was like, yo, and I'm not saying like I'm a pretty like a studious kid, and I was getting good grades at the time. But like, you know, the environment that I'm surrounded, you end up just becoming part of it. It just gets like, you get attached.
I mean, it's what you're around, man. When you get out of school, like the people you want to hang around, the people making the money, are slinging the bag, playing sports, getting into trouble, running in gangs.
That's all you see. You're like, oh damn, I thought that could have been my destiny, right? And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. But fast forward, high school, I did well because, you know, Asian family, Filipino families are very strict.
Right.
So I had to get my stuff together. Graduate high school, boom, this shows my age. 9/11 was happening.
Dang, dude, what was it like having 9/11 being so close to New York City? You guys could see the smoke cry.
When the buildings got hit, you know, like the debris, it went over the Hudson River to our side of Jersey City. Dang. That's how close we were. Like the debris went over to our side. So it was like, I remember that. I was just like, at that point, I think so I had a scholarship for School of Engineering, Rutgers, my first semester. And I was in the dorms, so I was still doing crazy stuff, man. Yeah. And after that first semester, I basically got put academic probation. So my mom was like, "Yo, we're not good. We can't afford to pay." That's the only reason why I went is because I got a scholarship.
Yeah.
So after that, that's when I went to join the Marine Corps.
Okay, so you're at this place, you came up around the streets, you got the scholarship, you're still doing hood rat stuff, you get put on academic probation, then you go Marines?
And I realized the school's not my thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else to do. It's either I'm going to keep doing this, go to jail or some craziness, and I'm not going to die here. So I joined the Marine Corps. I did that for 8 years, boom, overseas, Camp Pendleton, Japan, Philippines, everywhere, right? Then, I come back after 8 years. And I'm like, I'm a veteran. I did my time. What do? I should be able to get a job. Everyone's like, yo, just be a cop. I don't want to be a cop. Be a firefighter. I don't want to be a firefighter. Nothing against cops or firefighters.
Right.
It's just not my thing. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to school. I went to college. And this was the last thing I wanted to do, man. That's why I went to the Marines, to avoid school.
Yeah.
And I hated school so much.
This is funny just because of what we were talking about yesterday, bro. I'm sorry.
So I hated school so much that I finished it in 2.5 years. I got a bachelor's degree. I hated it so much.
You're like, I'm getting this done now.
So I did, what is it called? Like winter, spring, summer session, winter session. I just went all through school. Boom. Finished 2.5 years. Graduated. I'm a veteran. I got a degree in marketing, bro. And I'm like, I can't even get a job. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But the only thing from high school to that point in time that was very consistent in my life was me cutting hair. I was just cutting hair for shits and giggles.
So you were working at a barbershop?
No, just in my mom's basement, my mom's bathroom.
Oh, like cutting like friends and stuff? Yeah.
Because rewind a little bit, like when we started going to high school, there's a couple of me and the homies, like, yo, we can't be looking like this, yo. We're going to start liking girls, and we start doing, going to high school parties, and like, yo, we're broke. We can't afford haircuts at the shop. So there's a group of us, there's 4 of us like, yo, one of us got to be good.
And that was you?
Yeah, I happened to be the best out of the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I still was bad, but everyone was just like, I don't want to do this. So, yeah. So that was from then to all the way then. So I was cutting hair, you know, in the dorm. I was cutting hair in the Marines, and then I get out, and then, you know, now present at that time, like, yo, what I'm going to do? So I'm going to search a job with a bachelor's degree. And my resume, I got a bachelor's degree. I'm a veteran. I do all this stuff. Nothing, bro. I'm like, this is wild, man. And then now, I'm still cutting hair in my mom's basement. It was so crazy. One of my homies is like, yo, you should start charging to cut hair. I'm like, really? You're getting pretty good. I'm like, okay. I thought about it. Okay, I mean, I guess if the Marine Corps is gonna pay for my school, I'm gonna go get my license. And that's when I got I went to school in New York City.
Okay, so you went to Barber College.
Yeah,
got your license, everything.
And then after that, I was just like, yo, it was just off running. And then like, you know, I stayed in Jersey City. You know, I worked at a few barbershops. You know, and the funny story was like, while I was going to school, like I was stopped by my old barbershop, and like my old barber, he's very busy. He's always cutting. I would stand next to him, and it's like, what's this fool? What's this do? Why are you doing that? He's like, yo, Boobi, get away from me. Like, he was so annoyed, but I was so like, at that point in time, I was like, I need to learn this.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna like put 110% into this in like heart and soul and fully commit. Because at the time, you imagine like my family was kind of crazy because I was a Marine Corps veteran. I got a degree, all the stuff that they're putting me on a pedestal now. Like, oh, you're smart. You could do a lot, everything. Then at the time, like I want to be a barber. They're like, why? You know, like why you want to be a barber? I'm like, I like this. I love this.
Yeah.
Like I can't see myself doing a 9 to 5. That's just nothing against that. If people could do that, they could do that, and they're doing something they like. That's fine. But for me, the way I was wired, the way my mind works, like I couldn't be like that because like going back, the freedom that I had as a barber. So now I'm just like, okay, now doing that, you know, fast forward, you know, 2020, you know, pandemic hits. I can't cut hair in New Jersey. I can't cut hair in New York City. And I'm like, bro, what do we need to do? And at the time it was probably like March or April. Like New York City, they were like, you know what? If you could do stuff outdoors, we'll allow it. And I'm like, oh, let's go somewhere where it's warm, where we could go do stuff outside all the time. Honestly, like, you know, I don't want to say I didn't want to be in San Diego.
Yeah.
But I had a few choices. I was like, I want to go to Florida, Arizona, Texas. Yeah, those or Atlanta. Those are my 4 choices. My fiance, she shot all of that down.
Really?
Like, we're not going anywhere. Like Florida's too humid. I was like, you're right. They got like hurricanes. I don't want to do that.
He's like, no, I don't want to do that.
You're right. Atlanta, we didn't know too much Atlanta, but I was like, it would be cool because it's close enough to you know, New Jersey. But we were like, I don't know, maybe no. And then Texas, too hot. Arizona, too hot. I was like, all right. And she's like, yo, she's a beach person. Me personally, I'm such a city kid. Like, I don't care about the beach, bro.
Yeah.
So, but you know, she works from home. So I'm like, all right, yo, we can go wherever. It's like, if I could cut hair there, I'll be all right. And then that's all said and done. We got here in San Diego.
What year was this?
2020.
2020. Came in the middle of that's when I came, middle of pandemic.
Like dead pandemic. But like, you know, they always say like when there's turmoil, there's stuff like
chaos, there's opportunity.
Yeah. And like, and I, not for nothing, I inserted myself into the barber culture.
Do you know what month you got here?
June 2022.
June?
No, June 2020, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and from there I was like, yeah, man, like I worked at a shop like for like a year and a half.
Dude, 7 months after you moved here is when you got connected with me. You were already making moves, bro. 7 months.
It was crazy because like this is why I could see why people don't want to make moves like that, because I legit moved from the East Coast to the West Coast. I had a zero network. I had zero people to help me grow a business or even build my brand.
Yeah, but I'd say it's the best thing that ever happened to you.
I think so too.
Because it forced you to get creative and to build a new network.
Yeah. So so when people ask me like, yo, why did you want to move to San Diego or just move in general? And like this is the answer I give. And like, you know, I would tell them like I was good at home, but you know, there was a plateau and there was a ceiling. So I was like, you know what? I needed to move so I could destroy everything and rebuild a higher ceiling. So that's why I think, you know, and I wanted to do stuff to see, just to test myself too.
Yeah.
if I could do it here, I could do it anywhere. And if shit hit the fan, I just go back home.
Right.
And be okay.
So this is, man, what, 3.5 years ago?
Yeah.
All right, so you move here, you start cutting. What made you spark the idea to DM guys like me online?
Because, yo, like, you know this. Social media is a very powerful tool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a powerful tool if you know how to use it, right? It's like a freaking hammer. If you're hitting nails, it works. But if you're trying to, like, I don't know, screw is not going to work. But if you have that tool in your hand and you know how to use it properly and leverage it, yo, you could exponentially grow your business. So my idea was, because at the time it was like 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yo, podcasting started getting more and more, like, common.
Yeah.
And like, and some of them are just, they're okay, whatever. But I wanted to target people that had a network that I could, I guess, join and be part of and be accepted with, right? So it was hard to find you, actually. It was hard to find a lot of influencers that were just males in San Diego, bro.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's crazy.
A lot of females.
Yes. Like, I would say 80%. And on top of that, like, the other, like, 10% of, like, male influencers, they're, like, they're, like, all bodybuilders or so. There's some fitness stuff. Yeah. And nothing against that. I was like, yo, man, damn, I can't. What am I offer these people? Like, but, I had to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
Like, you miss all the shots you don't take. So, like.
And out of that time, how many influencers said yes to you?
I think, like 10, 11. So this is funny. I have like 13 episodes, man. I might have dropped like, I don't know, like 9 or 10.
Yeah, I don't even know if you dropped mine yet.
But yeah, so and then going back, you're like, yo, you stopped. I'm like, damn, because it's not that I wanted to stop.
Yeah,
it's like, yo, just like more stuff, just like, all right. I started piling up, and gotta knock this out, and it just kept on compiling. So I definitely want to get back into it, like.
But it was effective. It worked.
Yes,
so you started reaching out to people. You launched this podcast. People started saying yes.
Because it's different too, right?
Out of these influencers you cut, how many of them kept getting cuts with you?
Yo, just you, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Dang. And how many clients would you say that since getting me that I've been able to bring to you?
Yo, a good amount, maybe like in two hands for sure. And it's like it's been because like it's been growing. Like, our relationship has been growing, so the everything else has been growing. You know what I mean? So it was dope.
Yeah.
And it was like I was expecting it to happen fast, but organic was what is my whole goal. Like I don't want to just. Because at the end of the day, we establish these relationships in the barbershop. I don't want them to be fake. I don't want them to be just surface level, right? Like, I want to be able to see clients outside the shop. Yo, we shake hands, hug, whatever, and then we can have a drink or have dinner or whatever. Like, because people are awkward. Oh, shit, that's my barber, though. Like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Yeah. I'm excited to see you.
Yeah, see, so, like.
I'm going to embarrass you.
Hey, that's fine, but, like, to me, I'm like.
I'll tell you how much I like Boobi. I get married in 10 days, and Boobi, I'm flying out to Oahu. Woo. He's going to stay at our Airbnb with us in our wedding party. He's going to be at my wedding because I want him there, and he's going to cut my hair the day before the wedding. So that's love right there. But I want to say, like, guys, listen to this because so many of you have a dream and a passion. You don't realize what you have access to. Here's a guy that moved to San Diego, had a dream, and, he did whatever it took to win, whatever it took. And, we've developed a friendship, and I do DM outreach through Lead Flow Academy. We built a system to do this with AI and technology. And when the numbers are all said and done, about 1% of every people you message become an actual customer. If you actually do the math, you're right where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But if you would have kept doing it, you would have more. You don't have to go cut them either. Invite them into the shop. Figure out creative ways to do that.
That's actually, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. All right. So I want to walk through, you were working at this time, because I remember when I met you. You were like doing traveling, you were cutting like at some houses, but you were also cutting out of a shop downtown, but you had a dream to launch your own barbershop, and you did. Can you take us through the journey of what made you want to open your own shop? Why become a business owner? Why did you do that? And what did you have to go through to actually make that dream a reality?
So there's a lot to unpack there, right?
Let's go.
First of all, like it goes back to the very beginning we're talking about here, freedom. Like, yo, you're your own boss. It's all on your shoulders if you want to fail, if you want to succeed. But honestly, let's keep it real. This is my opinion and my perspective. It's so hard to fail. You really have to not do shit.
I know.
To fail.
People just understood. If you just took imperfect action and didn't quit, you're going to win.
Yes.
Just stay in the game long enough to win.
Exactly. So that was my idea too, right? Like in my mindset, like I'm gonna do this because I want to be my own boss and create my own time and, you know, create those memories with my family, whatever I need to do. But understanding that in the beginning, you're going to have to sacrifice and put a lot of effort into this in the beginning.
Yeah.
The ROI is going to be great if you do that, right? So with that, you know, for sure, open a barbershop, but I want to be ready if the opportunity ever came and presented itself. So when it presented itself, it's so dope because we have a shop. It's two of the homies, man.
From Jersey.
Yeah. And then we all used to work together and cut hair back at home.
Now, did they reach out to you and say, hey, we should open a barbershop there?
Kinda. Yeah, actually, yeah. So shout out to my homie Camilo. He's the one that
Go Camilo.
It's his idea. You know, there's three of us, the Three Musketeers type of deal, right?
Yeah.
He brought the idea, like, hey, it's crazy. I'll tell you, this is so fun. This is how the conversation went. It's like, yo, we should open, because, okay, so mind you, Camilo's from Jersey. He moved to California too, to San Diego. And he's been working at another shop maybe for like a year as well. He was like, yo, we should do our own shit. I was like, I bet. And he's like, I bet. And that's basically it.
That was it.
And that was it. And then you know, we just started, you know, thinking like what we needed to do. And then we added Jared, like, yo, Jared, what's up, you want to go? He was like, yeah, what's up? Okay, what's up? Then he moves to San Diego. So yeah, it's exactly like that, how it happened. It's not like, yo, no.
And then you guys did it.
Yeah. But like, you know, I think with any business, like, you're going to have hardships, right? Because you can't foresee the future. But like, if you're willing to accept those problems or obstacles and know that they're ahead of you, I think you'll be okay. Yeah. You should be able to tackle them. You know what I mean? Like you know, you just gotta have like a little money saved, reserved, just in case a water pipe breaks or whatever. You know, you can't be too, like, what's the word, naive that nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the hardest part is like, yo, not knowing what's gonna happen or how big a situation could happen while you're running the business, you know? So I think for me, like, it was a tough journey because I'm so accustomed just to being a barber. Like, being a businessman and a business owner is something different from being a barber.
Yeah.
Right? Or it could be like anybody. Like, yo, someone could be an accountant.
And you got to deal with all the stress, man. You got to pay rent for your building. You got to pay utilities. You're responsible. You got payroll. You got cash flow. You're dealing with debt. You're trying to grow the business, bring in marketing, client acquisition. Like, there's so much.
Yeah, and I guess you can't learn it from school, like you said, man.
Yeah, trying to tell me you're going to go back to school after you told me education. I'm like, why?
But you know what's crazy, too? Like, when people used to tell me, "Oh, you're gonna have to wear many hats," and I'm like, I never really fully understood what a man.
So you actually put them on.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, next. Oh my gosh! But like, it's cool. There's three of us, and we balance each other out too. But it's still a lot of stuff that, like, you know, you don't learn that being an employee. You don't learn that from school, and you might learn it from some people who are entrepreneurs or business. Men or business, you know, owners, but even then, like, their headaches are different from your headaches, you know, and the way they conduct business could be different the way than you conduct business. But I think my overall experience now is like, keep my eyes open, keep my ears open, and like listen to as much and absorb as much information as I can. Yeah, because one of those things got to stick to the wall and help us, you know. So like, I'm always willing to hear someone in a good position. You know, I don't want to take advice from a broke dude. It doesn't make sense.
No. Why would you take advice from someone?
I don't know. They like
never
to speak.
built a business.
They like to talk. You know,
they like to tell you how to build your business. Your family loves to tell you how to build your business.
You should do this. You should do this. Like, okay, you should take your own advice too. Then.
What were in the process? What did it actually take, man, for someone that's listening to this podcast right now? They're like, I want to open, let's even say they want to open their own barbershop. Mm-hmm. What steps do they need to take to open a brick and mortar business barbershop? Like, what'd you guys have to do? Did you go like an LLC, find a building? Like, what were the steps you had to take to make this a reality?
Our story is crazy, man. I can't, it happens so organically and it happens so like fast. Like, first of all, our first real estate agent was a douchebag. Like, bad. You know, I don't even want to name drop this dude, but like, bro. Anyway, it happens so crazy because, like, you know, if you want to build a barbershop, you're gonna have to find a space. You gotta find the demographic that you want to cater to. You want to find the people you want to work with. You want to find an area, like, you know, they always say location, 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 location. So you gotta find a location where you be comfortable working and like the community that you could build with, right? So like, so I've been living in I've been living in California at that time, San Diego, for maybe like almost 2 years. I haven't been to Pacific Beach. I've been there one time. The second time I go there is to look at a property to open a shop, right? Yo, we go to the property. The owner of the property doesn't show up. Our realtor doesn't show up. We call him, ghost. Text message, ghost. All right, we're PB. Let's walk around. Whatever. We walk down Garnett. So that spot was on Mission Boulevard.
Okay.
So we walk down Garnett. We're like, yo, we're talking to people. This is the second time in PB in 2 years. I'm like, bro, where's the happening spot? They say Garnett. All right, let's go there. We found this. We're just walking on Garnett. We see a place for lease. Yo, call him. See what's available. Yo, call him up. He's like, hey, be here tomorrow, this time. All right, we show up the next day. He opens the door for us. I'm like, oh, we're looking at, this is dope. Let's get it.
That was it.
Yeah, and like I'm looking back, you know, if you talk to like a good businessman, they're like, so you didn't know the demographic there? No.
Honestly, though,
like, I didn't know nothing about that area.
Business is about failing forward, and done is better than perfect. Like, yeah. I've learned, man, like, I could tell you firsthand, dude. I've sat on meetings with people that run multi-million-dollar businesses that from the outside looking in, you would think, wow, they got everything so well oiled. They do all of that. And I can tell you it's held together by duct tape often. And I remember my mentor telling me that, like, hey, man, I've sat with people that own $50 million business. You'd be surprised how many are held together by duct tape. And what I'm saying is we figure it out as business owners. We're problem solvers. We make it happen. I mean, there's many times I've taken risk and made a leap just like you guys did within my businesses and pulled the trigger and took action. And it's those people that win succeed. Now, you've done it. You've opened a shop. You guys had a really profitable first year in business. Maybe you learned some things. Maybe if you get a bigger building, you're like, hey, you know what? Next time we learn from this building, let's make sure it has this or this or this. But that experience you get, dude, you can't read that on Google. You can't get that in a marketing degree or a business degree.
No school, man. No university on earth, bro.
No, there's nothing that can truly teach business. For everyone listening to this, I was 22, 23 years old. I moved back to Michigan. I was building my business on the side. I went and got this job. It was supposed to be a marketing job. Better advertising professionals. It was door-to-door sales for AT&T.
Okay.
One of my coworkers, shout out to Ray, guy, doing great things now too, just like me in his own way. He had this college party, like with his roommate. So I go to this and I'm just like focused, bro. I'm building business styles. Like, you know what? I'll go out, go have some fun. And there's all these college kids about to graduate. And they're seniors at like a Grand Rapids University. And I'm talking to this guy, just being friendly. I'm like, awesome, man, what do you go to school for? Oh, he's like, man, I got a degree in business and entrepreneurship. I'm like, that's amazing, dude. What are you going to do when you graduate? He's like, I'm going to go get a job. And I look at him and I'm just like, I'm slightly intoxicated. And I'm like, have you ever looked up the definition of entrepreneurship? Because that ain't it, bud. Why did you go to school? You got a degree on how to become an entrepreneur to go get a job. It doesn't work. And I'm sorry, but I have never met a single person that went to school for business that's a good business owner. No, the business owner took the risk, started the thing, went for it, took imperfect action, then hired your ass to work for him.
It's crazy that the people with degrees, you're going to get a job. You're going to get a job.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, not to say you can't have a degree. Boobi has marketing. I don't know if he's ever used it and go build a business. Like, you can. Like, you know, but I remember one time a guy hated on me, dude, years ago. I was doing email marketing, and this guy is emailing me. He's cussing me out. He's like, you don't even have an effing marketing degree. You're a joke. Who would ever, like, just rip it into me, bro. So I just start doing research and looking them up on LinkedIn and Facebook and Google, and like, all right, well, maybe you're a baller, bro.
Maybe you know what you're talking
maybe
about.
you're like legit. And I'm I'm doing a couple $100,000 a year. I feel like I'm doing all right. And I look him up and he's like nothing, bro. Like struggling.
Oh, straight hater.
And I'm just like, you're just a hater. I'm like, good luck with that degree. You probably got 50K. You owe the university, homie. I'm freaking 20-something years old. I just cleared 200 G's. So anyways, I went on a tangent there. All that to say, man, I love what you've done. You've opened a barbershop. What was it like finishing your first year?
Like, but it's so funny. You think the storm is over, but it's just beginning, right? The 0 to 1 year is such a learning curve, man.
And it goes by like,
yeah. And now year 1 going into year 2, this is gonna be the part where we actually grow. This is the year that you actually like implement things, take some stuff and like, we're not gonna do that no more.
Yeah.
And then year 2 to 3, that's when you see that real growth, because it has to marinate, man. You have to learn. You have to go through the struggles. You have to get them wins, get them losses, because I feel like people go to entrepreneurship because they think they're gonna win right off the bat, right? Oh, I don't like my boss. He should do it like this. I'm gonna do my own thing. Okay, then do it. And then you realize you're doing your own thing. Maybe the other guy was right. So it's that thing where they say the grass is always green on the other side. It might not be, but at the same time, once you fence, you cleared it. Now you gotta 2 feet and start going.
Better mow that grass.
Yeah. So like, and I think that's the one thing I'll tell any entrepreneur, like, when you make the decision to do it, commit. Because like you said, man, like, you might not see that for the first 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but year 6, that's just like rocket ship to the moon, right?
And you got to be in it, right, for the long game.
Yeah.
Like for you're not trying to get rich quick. Nah. Year 1, year 2.
Yeah.
You're in this for the long game, right?
Trying to understand like how to play the game first before you even do that.
Right.
Right? It's chess.
It is. It's all chess. So where you going with? So just so y'all know, name of the barbershop. What's your brand? What are you guys building?
Okay, so Braveheart Barbershop and Lifestyle Co. So it's in the title. We're in PB. We insert ourselves in a place where we could grow with the community, right? So now it's a barbershop, so you get that. You're getting A1 service. You're getting everything in a barbershop that you should get. And on top of that, you're getting the environment, you're getting the camaraderie. And I was telling Cody, and I tell all my people, like, this is your time as a guy. Time away from reality. Have a drink, watch the game, talk shit, politics, whatever you want to talk about. Like it's like Vegas. Whatever happens here stays here.
Yeah.
Right? It's your sacred ground. It's like a social club for men. And it's how barbershop should be. And for some reason, they've been going away from that.
Yeah.
And like I like the evolution of barbershops now too. They're all like fancy and nice and cool, but like what else do you have to offer besides like some cool ass chairs and a nice floor, right? And that's what the lifestyle part comes. That's why we put it in our title of our shop, is because it's gonna become it is our lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like grooming, keeping yourself healthy, mental health, look good, like we want to hang out, like we have community events, things like that. Like it propels, the community of that we build in there with the men. You know what I mean? So I feel like barbershops should start taking more action of building that type of community, because it's becoming just a transactional.
Right. Like how many haircuts can we turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've definitely felt that with your shop. I've actually felt that with your shop. And one of the things that I love, and I told you this, is I believe that you confidence.
Yeah.
That men actually, when they come in and get a haircut with you, what you're actually selling them confidence. Because as men, we want to look good, feel good, and confidence is one of the important things that we could have to our success. And I think that's something really cool. And as we finish up here, where are you going with all this? What is your focus as a business owner this year? What are you guys conquesting on? What is your mission? What is your focus for your brand and for your business?
It's exactly what it is. Like you said, we focus on the brand. Like we're there just a little bit over 1.5 years now. And there's still people that live in PB and they don't even know that we're there. Branding is a big thing, right? Marketing is a big thing. So now it's just like, just letting people know who we are, letting them know what we're about and what we're capable of doing.
Yeah.
So, I even joined the Pacific Beach Town Council just so I could be in the community, So like it's past the barber chair, right? It's what we could give back to the community, you know? Like I think like this year is gonna be a big growth year because we learned a lot in the last year and a half. You know, so 2024, like moving forward, like it's just application. It's just making decisions and just pulling the trigger on things and just keep moving forward. Like, you know, so I think as a business owner, you want to think strategically, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, like you said, you just got to just jump in the cold plunge, just go and then swim up and figure it out after that, you know? So like we have space to, I guess, make mistakes. And like you said, we got to fail forward. Mm-hmm. As long as we're failing forward, like, and not taking steps back, we're heading in the right direction. So taking L's is part of the game. And I think people are so concerned about taking an L that they don't pull the trigger, they don't do anything. So I'd rather go in a direction and then just be stagnant and complacent, you know?
Yeah, dude, that's good, man. And I'll share with you what I share with you all the time, man. Stay in the game long enough to win.
Yeah.
Business is a never-ending evolution of staying in the race. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, but as long as you're progressively moving towards that which you desire most, you're always on the right track. How can we support you guys and what you're doing? So let people know, where can we connect with you on social media? Where can we follow you? And how can people that are in Southern California, specifically San Diego, come check out Braveheart, get an opportunity to experience what you guys are creating, and how can guys go get cuts? Okay,
so we're in PB, 972 Garnett Avenue. We're in the heart of PB. We're right next to Philippi's, if you know where that is. The website, we're working on that, and he's talking about SEO. Our SEO is going to be on there, right? It's going to be popping, so it's www.braveheartpb.com. Our Instagram handle is braveheart.gallery, so you can find all the stuff there. If you need to reach me, DM me personally, it's Boobi the Barber, just regular Boobi the Barber.
And that's Boobi.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like, you know, I don't care if you guys are coming to get a haircut or not. I just wanted you guys to stop by and, you know, and just see what we're doing. You know, we want to network and we want to connect with other people. And if we could build a community, you know, let's build. I want to build, like, you know, you don't have to be a client. You know,
yeah.
Just be a friend. You know, just be part of the community. That's all. That's all we ask. But, you know, maybe you're going to need a haircut sooner or later, though, so.
Hey, you know, my favorite saying is, if you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later, you're going to get a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I love what you've done, Boobi. It's an honor to have you here on the show, man. Thank you for giving us and blessing us with your time today, with your knowledge, with your wisdom. Guys, go support Braveheart, what they're doing. You know, Boobi's on a mission to really change barbershops, and that's what I love. And I believe that business, when you take away all the fluff, it's nothing more than relationships. And I know for me, I do business with people that I want to have relationship with, that I want to support, that I believe in, that have a mission and have a conquest that I align with my values. And I can say this man has that. So I fully endorse you guys. I love what you're doing. I'm excited to see what you guys do in 2024. And we'll have you back on the show next year and we'll talk about it.
Yes.
Boom.
Thank you.
Let's go, guys. Buddy. Go make today great.